Welcome to the Good Taste channel. Today we are going to prepare some delicious tacos al pastor that you will love. You cannot miss this recipe. Remember that the ingredients can be found written down here in the description of the video. And now we start. Here I have the ingredients. We are going to need 1 kilo of pork, whether from the leg, from the loin, or the head of the loin. It has to be in thin fillets, just as you can see. We will also need a pineapple. I have it here in slices, onion in thin strips, 4 bay leaves, 3 cloves of garlic, half an onion for the marinade of 4 to 5 guajillo chili. For ancho chili, a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 2/3 tablespoon salt. You take it out to taste. You can add a little more at the end. And here I have the spices that I already have ground because I don't have mortars. So I buy them already ground. But if you want to grind them, I am going to leave you in the description of the video, the quantities in the entire species. So here I have 1/3 teaspoon of coarse pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, a teaspoon of hatchet either in paste or powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of oregano, and half a teaspoon of cumin. With these ingredients, we get to work. We start by devening and removing the seeds from the chili peppers. We can occupy a pair of scissors to make it easier, since we have the chili peppers clean. We are going to reserve them for a little while, and in a hot pan we are going to add a splash of oil. We put half of the onion that is for the marinade. We're going to sauté for about a minute. We add the 3 cloves of garlic and fry for 1 more minute over medium or low heat. When the onion and garlic look half golden, we are going to add the chilies and we are going to sauté them for about 2 to 3 minutes. Always over low heat, stirring constantly so that they do not burn. What we want is for them to release aroma and for the flavors to intensify. Next, we add a cup of water and let the chilies cook and hydrate for about 10 minutes. Always over low heat. We don't need to cover because we want the water to evaporate and have only a very small amount left. Enough and necessary to be able to liquefy the chilies. You have to be careful that the water does not evaporate completely, and if necessary, then we add a little more after 10 minutes. So I got this liquid left in the pan. Look, it's a small amount, but the necessary one. Let's add the 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. This will help us continue to hydrate the chilies. We are going to remove it from the stove. And we are going to let this continue to hydrate for about 10 to 15 more minutes. And now we are going to put the chilies, onion, and garlic in a blender. We are going to add the 4 bay leaves. We add the spices that are already ground. From a slice of pineapple, remove the center and make small pieces. We're also going to add it to the blender. This causes the meat to soften and begin to take on that particular flavor of tacos al pastor. Finally, we add the salt and liquefy without adding any liquid, simply with the vinegar and the little bit of water that was there. Because we have to have a thick paste left. So little by little we are going to liquefy. This is how this thick paste would look like, and see at the beautiful color it has. The next step is to add pork fillets, about 3 fillets. We put a little bit of marinade and mix very well. We do it this way little by little so that the steaks don't break. When we have marinated all the meat, we are going to wrap it very well so that the odors are not going to come out. And we are going to refrigerate, let the meat marinate for at least 5 hours, preferably overnight, so we will see you the next day. I like to take the meat out about 20 minutes before so that it reaches room temperature. And I also tell you to change the meat to another aluminum container. Because plastic costs a little more to clean later because of the color of the chilies. Here I have the onion that we already had like this in a thin band-aid. The pineapple is also sliced, and we cannot miss the handmade corn tortillas. But if you want, you can also buy them in the supermarket, and we are more than ready to prepare the tacos al pastor. In a hot pan, we are going to roast the pineapple. I like to first roast the entire pineapple. I let it sit for about 2 or 3 minutes or until I see that it is turning slightly roasted. I turn it over and let it be done on the other side. In my kitchen, it is already starting to smell delicious. When the pineapple is ready on both sides, we are going to remove it and we are going to reserve it. We are going to clean the same pan and here we are going to roast the meat. We're just going to put it in I let the meat cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, as pork has to be well done for consumption. If it is not completely cooked, don't worry, because then we are going to cut into plasters and cook it again with the onion and pineapple. Since the meat is ready, we are removing it, we are putting it on a side. We clean the pan so that these remains will not burn and the rest of the meat will not become bitter. With the pan clean, we add new meat and let it cook. We repeat the process until all the meat is completely cooked. Once all the steaks are ready, we are going to cut the meat into strips. We are cutting them here. We are going to do the same with the pineapple. We have to remove the center, the trunk of the pineapple, and we are going to dice it. We now have the onion, pineapple and meat ready that we are going to mix in the same but clean pan. Let's add a splash of oil. We put the meat. I'm going to make just one part with onions, because my husband doesn't like it. So I'm going to make it for him only with pineapple later. We add the onion. I love onions, so I'm putting the onion strips here. We're going to fry for a couple of minutes. Then we're going to add the pineapple and we're going to fry for about 2-3 more minutes. The pineapple and onion will give juiciness, flavor and softness to the meat. Look how delicious this is, and the aroma. I can't even explain you about this recipe. You're going to love it because you're going to love it, for sure. I only have to fry the tortillas, or they can also be eaten like this, freshly cooked. We put the meat on top and we now have this Mexican culinary wonder ready. We put chopped onion, cilantro on top, and I also made a pico de gallo. The lemon that cannot be missed, and let's taste it. I hope you liked this recipe because it is delicious. You can't miss it. If you liked this video, leave your like and your comment. Subscribe to this channel and thank you for having been in the good taste. Goodbye.